Welcome back, friends, to another reading for the collective. My name's Ross, your favorite spiritual strategist and modern mystic here on the YouTube. And today we're going to see what the cards have to say. So, if you found yourself here, then chances are there is a message here for you. If you did find yourself here today, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. The energy has been the last couple of weeks. There's been that feeling of stuckness, and I was talking about that in a previous video, previous reading, which you can see here. So if you're still feeling stuck, that's understandable. Mercury is doing something with Neptune or Pisces. There's a lot of that mystical flavor to things, so it's very important to stay grounded. I think I talked about that in the last video, and I'm just thankful for your subscriptions, thankful for your likes, and thankful for your donations that help keep me going. So, like we always do, I invite you to consider whatever it is you're looking for insight into, what you need guidance in. I don't know the future. I'm not telling you what to do. These are just other ways of looking at things. So hold that intention and we'll do like we do, take three breaths. See what I'm telling you about Mercury and communication being wonky? 3 breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you give that exhale through the mouth, you can make a little sigh if that feels accessible to you. Breathing in and out. And 2 more times, breathing in and out. One last time, breathing in and out. Time is a weird thing. Feel like I was spending a lot of yesterday watching the fabric of reality get torn apart as we gather as a collective to watch sporting events and things like that, while simultaneously the world is falling apart and we're discovering the depravity of those in control and how lots of cards want to come out today. I think we'll leave it at that. These were the two that came out upright, so we'll start with those. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This might be another weak reading, but what we got? 10 of Wands, and is that the 6? 6 of Cups. 10 of Wands comes up quite often for me, and if it comes up for you, you might be someone who is carrying too much, and that can lead to, whoops, wrong one. That can lead to being overwhelmed, overburdened. The character here is stooped, and even though they have the collection of their experiences or their talents, their gifts, they're not seeing where they're going. They don't know what to do with all of them. They've collected all of these things, and now it's like, what do I do? In my experience, and I'm speaking for myself, but also for other folks in the spiritual healing modality community, there is this desire to get all of the modalities that you can, pick up all these wands, so to speak, to help as many people as possible. I think that's the underlying altruistic motive there. But when you're trying to help everyone, you can't help the right people for you. So the invitation here is to examine what it is that you're carrying and decide if you need all of that. And with the 6 of Cups, this is the card of inner child healing or inner child relations. And Maybe the invitation is to sit with your inner child, your inner little ones, your inner parts, and see what lights them up. I was talking with my housemate last night and I asked them, what did the 10-year-old version of you like to do for fun? So, what did the 10-year-old version of you like to do for fun? Or the 12-year-old version, the 5-year-old version, the 15-year-old version, the 25-year-old version? When did you last feel excited about life? Try to tap into that version of you and see what they have to say about all of these wands that you're carrying. And it doesn't have to just be spiritual modalities, it could be obligations, relationships, um, projects, things that you're trying to do, that the fact that you're trying to do so many things is preventing any of them from happening. And it doesn't mean you have to put these down forever. If you, and I think I've used this metaphor before here on this channel, or definitely with speaking with someone, if you wanted to open a ski lodge, you probably wouldn't do that in the middle of the summer. I've never opened a ski lodge. I've never been to a ski lodge. I've never been skiing, but I imagine it has to be cold. There has to be snow, and those things aren't around in the summer. That doesn't mean that you're never going to open that ski lodge. It just means that it's not the right time. So you put the ski lodge down and you you start making Bermuda shorts. That's an example. All right, so how do we want to read these? Just as we have them here? Sure. The Hanged Man, but it's reversed. It's time to come down. When we see this upright, this is a character who has put themselves in this position. They have hung themselves from, we could see this as Yggdrasil. I think I'm pronouncing that right. The world tree in Norse mythology. You could also see this as the bottom part of the Ankh, where there would be a loop up here. The Ankh, of course, being the Egyptian symbol for new life. So you're a person who, and maybe it is part of all of this, like you've had a spiritual awakening, maybe. And so you do start picking up those modalities: breath work, yoga, meditation, sound healing, all of that. And maybe all of that was picked up in a, oh, maybe you're picking all of these things up in an effort to heal that inner child, to be that safe, resourced place that your inner child needed. And that's a noble thing to do. The Hanged Man, reversed, says it's time to come down. It's time to stop collecting, and I don't want to say stop being spiritual, but it's that age old dichotomy of being a spiritual creature living in a material world. You've had the insight, you know what you want to use the modalities for, or you know what you want to use these projects for: healing, bringing people together, community. And now it's time to get down off your cross and build it. There's an element here like, yes, there is work, there is effort involved, but I'm reminded again of that Alan Watts quote that goes something like, here's the real secret of life: to be completely engaged with whatever it is you're doing and realize that it's not work, it's actually play. And I bring that up because reversed, this this character is kind of like dancing a jig. Like they've got the foot up going like an Irish jig kind of thing. Was it river dance? So the invitation there is to see the work as play, as something to dance through instead of slog through. And you can't do this alone. This is something that requires community and partnership, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. I mean, we've got the 2 of cups, and cups being the element of water and related to emotions. We could see that it is tied to something romantic. It might be, or it might just be someone that you can be emotionally vulnerable with. Doesn't have to be, yeah, it doesn't have to be romantic. It's just that when you come down off your cross, you have the opportunity to interact with other people. And just something fun to point out here, these characters are dressed very similarly to the magician, the first card of the major arcana. I guess the first numbered card of the major arcana. I'm sorry, not the the fool. This guy is dressed like the fool. This lady is dressed like the high priestess. And it's kind of that combination of childlike wonder, right? With the fool leaping off, but the intuitive guidance of the high priestess. And it'll be interesting to see what else we see here. Justice, yeah, it goes again back to the idea of balance of here and connecting with your truth, big T truth. I've talked before about the court cards of the swords and how the queen's sword is sticking straight up, which represents correct truth, big T truth. And we've got justice here with that card. And like I was saying at the start, this is a time in the world where it feels like we need justice. It feels like we need truth. And I'm concerned that in my own personal view that the truth is going to shatter a lot of our preconceived ideas about what reality is. So going back to the idea of balance, knowing which wands to put down, which wands to keep carrying, when to go to your inner child for advice and when to let them play, when to get down off of your cross and when to go back to your cross. Meditation, stillness, silence. The star, you're the star. Just the fact that you're just the fact that, like we were saying before, like if you have chosen to go on this healing journey so that you can heal your inner child or the inner children of others, that is a magnificent offering and a way you, as we're seeing how the 1% of the top 1% behave, the fact that you're willing to do that healing work for yourself and offer it to others is amazing, is too small a word to suggest that when you could have succumbed to the depravity that that top 1% is partaking in and still partaking in. And just looking at these vessels that this character is talking about, which goes back to the idea of balance, is that old adage that you can't pour from an empty cup. Now is the time to only pour from overflow. You have to do what you need to be well resourced. You need to be with your little ones, your inner parts. Yeah, find that balance between being of the world and being a spiritual being temporarily inhabiting the world. mystical days ahead, my friend. Hmm. Now, when we say that a card is reversed, we can say that it's blocked. The 10 of Cups is such a happy, joyful card that even when it is reversed, like it came up now, that doesn't do anything to decrease its efficacy. The happiness is coming. If we are seeing this as a romantic pairing, then the family is coming. The the celebration is coming. The happy ending is on its way and is in fact already guaranteed, because like I said, you have chosen to be of service to the world. You're not trying to manipulate it or be evil. You're trying to make the best of what you have. And this is the first time I've noticed this. Maybe it's because it's the first time this has come up reversed for me, but the rainbow here kind of looks like a smile. Hmm. And we can even see the heads of the adults here as the little eyes. And here's the smile. The rainbow, of course, the symbol for uh, if you follow the Christian mythology, the rainbow came after the flood that wiped out the world as a promise to Noah that God would never do that again. God would never have a little temper tantrum again. Even God is on their healing journey. So the happy ending's coming, regardless of what you choose to carry, regardless of how you behave in the world. It's just a matter of how much ease do you want to bring into your life. And speaking of ease, let's check in with Hafiz. Hafiz, oh dear friend, what can we say to wrap this up? Put a nice little bow on it. What do the folks need to hear? What's something that I missed, or another way to, express this? There we go. Hmm. Hmm. Decide for yourself. This is giving Alice in Wonderland vibes with the little rabbit down here. I like to think of rabbits as a symbol for abundance. Sure, we can think of sexual abundance, but abundance in all its forms, which is kind of what we were talking about down here with this. Can you see that? With the 10 of Cups. Decide for yourself. 33, double three might be relevant. Something might be happening on March 3rd. I have a portal to Divinity on March 3rd. That'll probably be at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I will link that below so you can check that out if that's something that's relevant for you. Decide for yourself. I tried to let Venus and a sweet rabbit I know each cast 2 votes to my 1 about whatever may seem an important decision, and this strategy seems to be working. My luck has improved. It is wise to seek counsel, to learn the wisdom of your elders and teachers, but no vote outranks the still small voice within. Even in its silence, it provides clear and distinct guidance. Seek mature counsel and explore the options. Then decide for yourself, based on the vote cast by the still small voice that knows and remembers your original magnificent soul and its divine path. Seeking counsel, like we saw with the 2 of Cups. Seeking wisdom, like we saw with Justice. And what did it say? The original magnificent soul, plan, and its divine path. Yeah, like I was saying, the happiness is guaranteed. If you're able to follow that still small voice, you'll be right on time. And that feels complete for today. Again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. And I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and I will see you back here for another reading for the collective then. But until then, my friend, I wish you nothing but peace, love, and happiness from this day forward. Take care.